daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, this was me in the tower. Well, I counted out his money, and it made a pretty penny. I stuck it in my pockets, and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore.
Well, welcome once again to Letterkenny on St Patrick's Day. And we're glad to say that a lovely dry day here in Letterkenny today. A little bit cold, but that hasn't deterred the crowds from coming in their thousands once again. Even bigger crowds than last year, I would anticipate at this stage. Certainly a lot of cars in the big car parks around Letterkenny. We are, of course, here at the Market Square, the vocal and central point for the St Patrick's Day Committee, waiting on the parade to come up here, and we're expecting lots of lovely floats and bands today as well. As I've already said, very, very large crowds, people coming in from everywhere today to this parade in Letterkenny.
That's all from us now.
I know, Stephen, I'm usually after the game, I was prepared to speak to the press with I don't know yet. And of course, as always, we have our usual lineup of dignitaries and very important people on the platform today here. Mr. Eddie O'Donnell, County Councillor on the left. Standing at the back there is Mr. Colin Morrow, Town Clerk here in Letterkenny. Beside him is Urban Councillor Victor Fisher. And directly in front of them we have two Dial TDs, Mr. Paddy Harte, Finn Gale, and of course Mr. Neil T. Blaney, Independent Fianna Fáil. Just behind Mr. Blaney to his left is the Chairman of the Urban Council, Mr. P.J. Blake, with his chain of office of course, and sitting right in the centre of the platform, Mr. Patsy O'Donnell, involved in the political life in Letterkenny over a long number of years. Nice to see Patsy here today once again. And beside Patsy, Very Reverend Seamus Higgerty, Bishop of Foe, and to his left is Reverend Barrett. Nice to see him today as well. Directly behind him, and just in between, is Senator Joachim Loughrey, the Fine Gael party. And talking to Reverend Barrett at the moment is Urban Councillor Mr. Jim Lynch. And of course Commandant Declan O'Carroll, who was on the platform last year. Nice to see Declan back. Declan due to go to Israel, I believe, very shortly for a 2-year stint. One of the organisers, of course, Mrs. Margaret Doherty behind, Mrs. Kay McDade as well. And County Manager, Mr. Frank Maloney. You can just see him in behind the post there as well. Barney O'Donnell behind is Barney Sweeney, should I say, sorry. One of the organisers of this event as well. The crowd's ever swelling here at the Market Square, and we have reports that it's the same right the way from the roundabout at the Port Road right to the bottom of the town here. Thousands and thousands of people. I would certainly see it a lot more people here today than was here last year. Last year, of course, the rain in the early morning put a lot of people off, but thankfully it is very dry today. A little bit cold, but it hasn't deterred the people from coming out in their thousands. People from everywhere. I've seen people from Kerrykeil, from Ballybofey, from Lifford, from Ramelton, all over the county coming into Letterkenny today. And of course RTE Cameras setting up here at the Bank of Ireland. Up to your left hand side, Tommy Gorman talking to Superintendent Tim Kelly. Tommy, well known of course, Sligo man, works regularly with RTE here in the county, and they're giving this parade extensive coverage today. The only parade in the country that is getting this extensive coverage apart from the main one in Dublin today, of course. So it just shows you the importance that is attached to this parade in Letterkenny and the way it has developed over the last number of years. And once again, it is great to see such a fantastic turnout on St. Patrick's Day. We're hoping to have the parade arriving very shortly, of course. It is leaving the roundabout at the Port Road, and as I said, we're hoping to have it up here at the Market Square in a very short time. But everyone been very patient, looking forward to it. As I said, crowds very deep here. They'll probably have to stand back a little bit once the parade does start to arrive. Not much room in the middle of the road at the moment, but I'm sure the Garda Síochána will clear that very shortly.
Sober reception. Hey? Sober reception. Very good. She's met him out a few times, isn't it? Jeez, very nice to see him in the class. Say, I wonder, Tommy, would you mind moving slightly in at the road with an ECR that you want? See, we'll go up here in the back there, then. Got a good spot, isn't it? No? See that boy over there, not to the denim jacket on him. How he's going. See the Take over from you. The wee boy? The wee boy, yeah. You would say that. You have to say if you lost when you see that. There's always the place for Van Harte there. You always slag him, right? But the habit. I'm leaving this part about it.
Seeing people from all over the county coming in. I see Sean McGowan there, Van Harte's footballer, over in front of the platform, and his wife and their children in Letterkenny today. And in the background there, just at the side of the lorry, I just don't know what we can actually see. Paddy Walsh of the Donegal's People's Press, and to Paddy's right is Connie Duffy. You may just be able to see the top of Connie's head there with the glasses. Donegal Democrats GAA correspondent, of course. Looking further through the crowd, Gerard Farrell there, well-known painter and decorator in the Letterkenny area. Lots of young people here today as well, of course, all with their St Patrick's Day badges. A really big crowd. We have a report that the parade has left the Port Road, so we're expecting it to arrive here at the Market Square in a very short time. And I must say, everyone behaving themselves very well and enjoying the day. Mr. Softies and Charlie's Ices. It always amazes me to see children eating ice cream on a day like this. There you are, that's what it's all about. Kevin Shanahan here, photographer with the Donegal People's Press, coming up to the platform. Committee member. Well, Kevin, how's things? Big crowd in.
Ah, God, it's powerful altogether. As PRO, I'm delighted altogether, and I'm just praying away into myself, Charlie. I don't often do that, that the rain will stay away. Yeah.
Well, I think we've mentioned already, we've been very lucky so far. Though it is a little bit cold, an ideal day for a parade, really. Yeah. Kevin?
Well, I also feel, Charlie, there are other little things that really have delighted me. That you see, Televis Air here arrived in time, and the parade has just left the roundabout now, Charlie, and that's exactly 10 minutes past 3.
Yeah. So I did mention, Kevin, the fact how important people, are putting on this parade in Letterkenny. The fact that RTE have taken the trouble to come up here and give it such extensive coverage. It must give the hard-working committee, great spirits for the future years.
Fantastic, Charlie, altogether. It really has given us tremendous heart. But the one thing, Charlie, that delighted each and every one of us was our Flag Day last Saturday. You couldn't believe it, the response we got from Letterkenny and District. It was really fantastic, Charlie. They left an amount of £650 with lots of other people looking for money for different organisations. I think it was a fantastic turnout, and it really put the seal on it that we're able to run this marvellous parade today, Charlie.
It makes all the efforts during the year really worthwhile, Kevin.
Definitely, Charlie, and again, I'm delighted with the coverage in the radio and from the local press. It's just fantastic. You can see yourself, Charlie. You hardly know a being around you here today. I can't even see a Letterkenny face. They're here from all arts and parts, including Northern Ireland, Charlie.
Well, it's great to see you, Kevin. Thanks for talking to us,
Charlie,
and we're looking forward to the parade. Kevin Shanahan there, PRO for the committee. Obviously delighted, and quite rightly so, with the vast numbers of people that have come in and with the coverage this parade is getting today. One of the organising committee there, anxious look on his face at the moment, possibly a little bit anxious about the number of people who are here, and not a lot of room for the parade actually to come through, but I'm sure that once it does arrive here that people will be sensible enough to move that a little bit back to give it room to get through. Just up there you can see the doc there of DCR fame, of course. Does a fantastic show there from 12 midday until 2:30. Very short haircut Sean at the moment. You can see him with a leather jacket talking to Deirdre McBride. Deirdre, of course, the proprietor of Castaway Travel on the Port Road. And talking to Deirdre a short time ago, she tells me that she's never been busier in the travel world business than she has been since she opened her business in Letterkenny, so it's really going well. And as I said, Sean does a great show there on DCR between 12 and 2:30 every day. Took over from Rockin' Raymond when Raymond went to Australia, and certainly doing very, very well. Gorman, of course, who's coordinating things for RTE here today, and that's the RTE camera crew that you see, and they've certainly got a fantastic vantage point. Tommy Gorman has negotiated with the Bank of Ireland staff to allow them in, and they're up there on the balcony of the Bank of Ireland, and they should be able to get some fantastic pictures right the way up the main street and of course in this direction as well. They're filming very busily there at the moment, and I'm sure everyone will be impressed with the turnout here in Letterkenny today. Coming through the crowd once again, you can see the vast numbers of people who have come in, and as Kevin Shannon quite rightly said, it's difficult, there is Letterkenny faces in the crowd, but lots of strange faces in the crowd today, coming from every art and part to this parade. Looking right down to Lower Main Street gives you an idea of the crowds. Down there, of course, the Market Square tends to be a focal point, but the crowds are spanning out in every direction. I'm really delighted to see so many people. I know we have repeated this over and over again since this film started, but I think it's well worth mentioning, because a lot of hard work does go in during the year to the organising of the St Patrick's Day Parade. And of course the fear at this particular time of the year is that bad weather will keep people away and make it all a waste of time. But certainly we've been lucky with the weather today, thankfully, and certainly we've been very lucky with the number of people that have come in. And as Kevin Shanahan said when we spoke to him, the efforts of the committee are being rewarded, and certainly the hard work they've put in during the year working out in their favour, and gives them great encouragement to carry on with this fantastic work. An army band coming, but just before we turn the cameras on them, DCR of course there, just beside Funland on the main street, and I hope everyone watching this is a good DCR fan. Try to keep everybody happy. Well, the parade is on its way, and the army, as I believe they probably did last year as well, if my memory serves me right, leading us out. A battalion coming down looking very well, stepping out very, very well. FCA possibly. Well, I'm not 100% sure about that. I think it's the FCA, all right, yeah. Yeah, it is. Tricolour leading this parade on St Patrick's Day, very, very appropriate. They're stepping out rather well. Let's see, can we pick out any faces we know? We'll certainly see Eugene
McCusker leading it there from Lifford.
Joe McCusker? Eugene McCusker, sorry, from Lifford leading it. Nicholas Gormley from Rafo there, shouting out some orders. Frankie Vaughan carrying a flag there as well, to the left. And they're saluting the platform, of course. Hughie McCauley there as well, well-known man involved with the bands here in Letterkenny. And they're all... So, the parade is on its way, we can see, as the army makes their way down towards Lower Main Street. People on the platform and below the platform waiting patiently. Once again, we will mention the fact so many people in Letterkenny today. Crowds are probably the largest we've ever seen for the St Patrick's Day parade. Not a lot of room here, I might say, at the main street for the vehicles which we're expecting, and the bands which we're expecting to get through. You see flashing lights coming in the distance. Garda Síochána doing their best to get the crowds back.
We'll let them wee fellas up there, Kevin, will be shaking the whole place for us. That'll do now, don't be shaking.
Lots of blue flashing lights coming here in the distance.
Eugene McCusker. Keep steady, keep her steady.
So here we are, some members of the Members of the Civil Defence coming here in their fire engine. Very important members of the community, of course, and as a backup service to the James Dolan here in the front of this van, Civil Defence van as well. People, as I said, who give great backup to our normal services. Slight delay in the parade, making its way from the Port Road, not surprisingly.
You haven't a lost, Charlie, of who's leading or anything?
I haven't a clue, Kevin.
Like yourself, you're working in the dark.
Just as we see them coming.
That's right.
Aye. Yeah. Full pipe band here. Is it the full pipe band? It's not the full pipe band. Certainly a pipe band. We're just not sure where it's from, but we will try and find out as they pass us. Certainly look very well in their tartan. It's the St Aidan's pipe band from McGilligan, County Derry. And coming behind them are some lovely young dancing girls. Very well attired here on St Patrick's Day. Perhaps a little bit chilly for those outfits, but the girls don't look to be one bit perturbed. And the first of the floats coming. Andy Higgerty's. Higgerty's for Ford. And on the front of the van have a very happy St Patrick's Day from Higgerty's Garage. And a large green dicky bow on the front there. So I'm sure we'll see some rather nice vehicles passing. If you're interested in buying a new car, a new Ford, certainly Andy Higgerty's, as it says on the side of the van, going from success to success. Certainly a very nice van there. And in front we have a lovely Ford Escort, a sunroof, lovely white colour this one, and coming directly behind that, brand new Ford Sierra, looking very well also. A couple of more Sierras coming in the background. A state car, and behind that a Ford Orion. So a vast selection. Andy Higgerty certainly putting on the style today, and coming directly behind that, of course, former Donegal Man of the Year, Danny McDaid, who on Good Friday will be starting a run from Dublin to Letterkenny to gather funds for the Irish Kidney Association and St Vincent de Paul. Danny, of course, one of the best athletes, probably the very best athlete to ever come out of Donegal. Jim Black and Colin McManus and Neil McDaid, organisers of the event. And here comes Frank Grimes, Four Lanterns lads. Food by phone, of course, one of their novel ideas which they come up with. Young Frankie Higgins there, carrying a banner. And behind that, Sub 4 van, another company who give great sponsorship to sporting bodies here in Donegal. Tony Kelly Rantavan, also with us, Four Lanterns fast food emblems, and hoping for support for Danny McDaid, proud partners they might rightly be with Danny. Starting and, of course, Danny's hoping for big support on that particular run. Here we have another young band coming. So young ladies dancing round. Pipe and accordion band. Lovely blue and white outfits. This one's from the Twin Towns in Stirnorler. Towns band in Donegal. We're told they're one of the biggest bands, if not the biggest, in the county, with approximately 110 members. One of the many fine young bands which have sprung up. And here we have some clowns, and young ladies dressed as clowns, certainly, in the back of this van from the Letterkenny Community Centre. Playgroup, who always participate in the St Patrick's Day Parade, and lovely to see them all dressed up today, those young people. And here we have the Bank of Ireland ladies coming. Danya Harn there on the left, and Bernie looking very well in their sub-aqua outfits. Danya Harn, of course, Irish heptathlon champion. A very talented young lady. That's her to the left hand side there, member of the Finn Valley Athletic Club. And Bank of Ireland, of course, always enter afloat in the St Patrick's Day Parade. To see their manager Tony Murray with a camera there, busy on the other side of them, and of course the RTE cameras right up there. In a boat, keep afloat with Bank of Ireland. Excellent, excellent today, and they're certainly enjoying themselves.
Are you not rowing the boat yet? Ah, you come on, row the boat.
So the Bank of Ireland crowd, and that's their manager Tony Murray just behind there. He'd be very pleased with their turnout today, and the guys and girls looking very, very happy. And here we have Milford Youth Band, another very fine young band coming. Accordion and pipe band. Young fellows and young girls looking very, very well. Peter Hughes there, very talented singer himself, one of the organisers of this Milford St Garvin's Youth Band from Milford. Well done to them. Behind them we have Letterkenny Vocational School. New school, of course, opened on the Kilmacrennan Road, and they're all dressed in their attire today. And coming behind them, Michael Herody, St Patrick himself on a pony and trap, looking very well today, waving to the dignitaries. Mickey Mouse, Miss Piggy, Kermit the Frog, lots of interesting characters. We see Donald Duck coming along as well. There he goes, meeting all the young people, and very happy to do so. And here we have a float from the Town and Country restaurant on Pierce Road. Takeaway and calf. If you're looking for a nice meal in Letterkenny, that's one of the places you can go. Minicar, the cheapest little paint shop in the county. And another band, once again coming along. There's an accordion band from Irvinstown Youth Band. And behind them the Scouts, making very no noise. Certainly making a big noise there and enjoying themselves. Big turnout from the Scouts today as well. There's some more Scouts coming in the meantime, but we have another float. Another boat indeed. Boats seem to be the theme here today on the floats. This looks like a Viking boat. Scouts 988. Looking very well. The Vikings, of course, who invaded years and years and years and years ago. Looking very nice today. And here we have more Scouts coming, certainly hundreds of Scouts here. That's the Beaver Scouts you see there at the front. their organising ladies. And here we have more Scouts. Bernie McDermott there, one of the organisers of them, a neighbour of my own. And they're all waving to the cameras here today, all looking very happy. They're all on TV today, lots of TV cameras. And they're fantastic. Congratulations to the Scouts, all the scouting organisations. They've really turned out in force here today for this parade. Nice to see them. Literally hundreds of them passing by the main platform here at the Market Square. And once again we will remark, as you can clearly see, the vast numbers of people, Charlie Flood and Wally Sweeney, two of the organising committee, doing their very best up there to try and keep them back. More Scouts people, that's the end of them going through now. And as I said, we've had a great turnout from the Scouts, all the Scouts. That's the Stranraer Scouts going through finally there at the end. And another large float coming, and I think this is also a Scout float. Certainly it's been flanked by members of the scouting organisations. And yes, indeed it is. As you can see on the front of the lorry, scouting. The bridge to the future is the theme, certainly there. And we'd all like to think that, of course. Certainly judging by the number of people who have passed by in their scouting group today, many young people participating in this activity, and it's great to see it. A good healthy outdoor sport, and lots of indoor activities of course as well. And there's the flags of many nations, Japan and Switzerland among those. Ireland's of course there as well, West Germany, and there's Scouts, and that's what it's all about. Pots and pans, tin cans when you're out, and they're certainly very happy here today. These young men getting very excited. And there we have the old turf fire as well, and the blankets around them. These young men in the tent having a snooze during the parade. I'm sure they've been out in colder days than this. Certainly having a great time today. The Scouts have done it inside today, and well done to them. Another accordion band coming. Certainly making a lovely sound. We'll let you listen to them for a moment or two. It's a band from County Derry. Nice to see the people from Northern Ireland taking part here today in the St Patrick's Day Parade. And here we have, I'm not sure what's the Cheer Connell Wheelers or the Donegal Wheelers. Cheer Connell Wheelers. Cycling, of course, is a sport that has really taken off in the last year due to the fantastic success of Sean Kelly and Stephen Roach in particular last year. Lots of young people participating in that sport, and they have runs every Sunday. And here we have one of the companies here in Letterkenny who support every parade. It takes place, we get against Freight between Donegal and Dublin, with offices in Dublin of course, at Kilmore Industrial Estate, and also at the Pinehill Industrial Estate here in Letterkenny. And another float coming, and yet again another boat, Letterkenny Tidy Towns Committee, with their float for the St Patrick's Day Parade of 1988. Another committee, a very hard working committee, which have been striving to get Letterkenny right to the top in the tidy towns here in competition in Ireland each year, and certainly improve marks each and every year. So here we have another boat. Certainly that seems to be the theme today. St Patrick himself is Patsy Lynch there, waving to the crowd and giving his blessing. Certainly. Actually blessing everyone here in the crowd today. Looking well with his white hat on. And here we have yet another accordion band coming. Dressed very appropriately, of course, in their green and white for this St Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And this young band from Chile. And another Letterkenny company, or Letterkenny based company, their countrywide Interlink, Charlie Grant, their represented here in Letterkenny driving, and a company which are doing very well. And of course recently they've taken on the sponsorship of the Ulster Junior Cup. We had Charlie Grant into the DCR studio to talk about that. A company which are countrywide and doing very well here in the Letterkenny area. We're delighted to say they can get you your parcels or letters very quickly to any spot in the county. Here we have another young band coming now. Another accordion band. This band coming all the way from County Down today, and they're looking very well. Father Joe Kennedy accordion band from County Down, come a long way today. They've been followed by the RTE cameras there, right in behind them, getting an on the ground sound for the TV tonight, hopefully. Lots of people following this particular band. And yet again another band coming along. Looks like a Manor Cunningham band, this one. Certainly remarkable the number of bands that have sprung up in Letterkenny and the great success they've had when they travel in Ireland to competitions, and of course further afield. Bands like Letterkenny Accordion, Letterkenny Town Band have had fantastic success further ahead. This is the St Columbus band from Manor Cunningham. Followed by a large crowd, and the bands are coming thick and fast here now towards the Market Square. Another pipe band on its way, just pausing for a moment to allow the crowds to pass, the other bands to pass the crowds here. The RTE cameras, you can see them there, active on the ground, giving this parade extensive coverage today. A gentleman there talking to them, yes, he's on camera. So a great boost, as we've said already a number of times, but we'll say it again, a great boost for the organising committee of the St Patrick's Day Parade. Yeah. Kevin, we spoke to you a little earlier on. You must be delighted with the way things are going, talking to Kevin Shannon here.
Well, Charlie, it's hard to believe just an hour and a half ago when I was saying I was praying hard there'd be no rain, and God has just really showered it out on us today, and I don't mean rain, the good weather, and it's fantastic and it's remained dry. There must be well over 25,000 people here today, Charles.
Yeah,
there's
great
no
to
doubt
see it,
about
Kevin.
that.
We'll just listen to this band as they pass. Newton Stewart pipe band, Kevin. I'm sure you're all delighted to see so many bands coming from Northern Ireland today as well to participate.
Really, Charles, it's just unbelievable. And as I say, everyone I've been speaking to along, strangers and all, everyone's delighted with the turnout.
Yeah.
It really has been fantastic. And I understand, Charles, this video will be going to the United States of America. Well, to the place called Letterkenny, USA.
Yeah.
And I'd like them to know out there that we've got even an American baseball team here in Letterkenny called the Confederates.
Well, I'm sure they'll be delighted to hear that, Kevin. Here's the Drum Keen band, a very successful band who have done particularly well since they were formed a few years ago in their lovely green and white outfits. Very successful band, and Mick Kennedy, one of their organisers there, and been followed by a number of people from Drumkeen. As I said, one of the bands who have done particularly well since they were formed a few years ago. They've had success throughout Ireland. And here we have the Ballybow Community Youth Club coming, and they have their own St Patrick dressed out for the occasion today. Kevin Shanahan there, and we spoke to him a moment or two ago, absolutely delighted with the way things are going and has every right to be. Charlie Flood giving a little bit of support there to the bearers off the farm. Tony Canning, one of the committee of the Ballyboe Community Youth Club. Very important that areas form these youth clubs, of course, for activities for their young people. Certainly Ballyboe, one of the most active. And they certainly are sending a message out that snakes be banished from Ireland. Lots of young people, well turned out, very well dressed today. They have their own Mrs. Litterbug there and Ballyboe litter box. Keep their area clean. All well dressed and looking up to the cameras here. And here we have, is that Kevin McFeely with a bin lid on his head? I think it is Kevin.
Bin head.
Bin head, Packie says. Very appropriate. Bin liners and bin heads and everything here today. Ballyboe Community Youth Club. Certainly keeping their area clean, and that's the message getting across. Well, we mentioned the Rafo Pipe Band earlier on. I do believe this is them on their way now, alright. I knew they wouldn't let me down today. Certainly, they support all parades in Donegal, and one of a pipe band which has been in operation for many years. St. Cuman's Rafo Pipe Band. Vast numbers of people following the parade down. Bit of a break in the parade at the moment, we feel.
Take it all down, Charlie.
We believe that. Eh?
Charlie, this one.
Is that it finished? Of the bands and floats are through, and as we said during the interview there a little earlier on, you must be delighted with the way things have gone.
Not alone myself, Charles, each and every one of the hard-working members of the committee. I don't like mentioning names, but you've seen two of them there just out in front of you, really working hard. That was our Assistant Treasurer, Wooly Swinney, and our Vice Chairman, Charles Flood. They really put on a tough day trying to keep those thousands of people back there. And I'm really delighted with the cooperation of the local Garda. It was fantastic with Inspector Kelly there, the way he's marshalled his Garda to help to control the vast crowd. We expected 25,000, which is regular every year, but I would say today, Charles, there's about 35,000 people here in Letterkenny.
It certainly would appear to be the best supported St. Patrick's Day parade ever, certainly so far anyway, Kevin.
Oh, definitely, Charles. It's really fantastic. I mean, I can't believe it, Charles, and as I said, the Millennium's on in Dublin, and despite that we still are getting them in here to Letterkenny.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic, and once again the weather can help a lot, and that proved it.
Certainly. Well, Kevin, we think there's a couple of more bands and floats coming, so Packie, perhaps we could just catch these. We thought it was over, but certainly no, there's more to come.
Well, thank you again, Charles, for coming along today and giving your commentary, because as I said, Charles, this video will be going to Letterkenny, USA, and each and every one of us here on the committee send our best regards to Letterkenny, USA.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's echoed by everyone here today, and hopefully they'll enjoy the video when they do get it, Kevin. Well, we were slightly premature in thinking that the parade had finished, because it most certainly has not.
Please stand well back now, please. Please obey the Gardaí and the Marshals. Stand well back and give them plenty of room to pass.
The band performing here.
Emerald, isn't it?
It's the Emerald Town Band from Letterkenny, yeah. It is indeed, and we can see another float coming behind in the background at the moment, but we'll enjoy the Emerald Town Band, certainly going through a bit of a dancing parade, should we call it.
Okay, so check the...
So still more to come on this St. Patrick's Day parade here in Letterkenny. What a turnout of floats and bands and of crowds. This is Letterkenny Emerald Band one of Ireland's top bands and continue to be so. Quite a number of years now since they were formed, but they've continued to achieve a very, very high standard. Well, a very impressive performance here from the Emerald Band today. Certainly a lot of preparation has obviously gone into this by them, and they're really doing the business. Majorettes coming from the back, and they'll be leading the band down Lower Main Street in a moment or two. I'm sure you'll all be impressed by that performance. Cathy McGranahan there, one of the flag bearers, giving us a nice smile there. A very fine young band. And certainly the platform, the Dignitaries platform, have enjoyed that, giving the band a rapturous round of applause. That's the Letterkenny Emerald Town Band. Charlie Kelly there, driving the first van for Express Mail on Post Couriers. And right, saying a very impressive lineup of new vans for on Post here. Certainly a company that appears to be making the money. And yet another float on its way here. In a large van, Jimmy McHugh driving, and John Crossan and Sons van. Lots of items have been thrown out of this particular van, or this particular float, should I say. Crocodile Dundee himself there on the front, Paul Hogan. You can just see him there holding a pint of, not sure what he advertises. Paul Hogan. There's fruit's been thrown out of this van. We better watch ourselves here.
Please stand well back and allow the lorries through. Stand well back and obey the Gardaí and the marshals. For your own safety, stand well back, please.
Appeals coming from the platform here to people to stand back, and of course lots of sweets and fruit, and we have jungle men and workers with picks, and lots of sweets here being thrown out. Foster's, that's the beer that Paul Hogan advertises. We should have known. Foster's, and certainly they're enjoying themselves. every sort of colour here. Yes. An African chief himself there. I was saying he had trouble getting that colour on, but I wouldn't like to try and watch him getting it off. Here comes the Letterkenny accordion band. Another top class band here we have in Letterkenny. Little Letterkenny Accordion Band. Another fine young band. Making their way past the platform here at the Market Square. Followed by their organisers, James Green's among them, of course. So still lots more to come here. We certainly were premature a short time ago in thinking that everything had passed by. Most certainly hadn't. And the size of the parade today certainly been matched, or certainly matching the size of the crowd here in Letterkenny. Yet another piped and accordion band on its way, dressed in red and white. Their majorette saluting the dignitaries on the platform and receiving a nice round of applause from them.
Raffo, isn't it?
Young band from Raffo, we believe. St Eunan's Raffo was correct, yes. Red, white and green. I'm sure everyone will agree that lots of good young bands here today. Young Irish people. A message for the politicians here. We don't want to immigrate. Please choose Irish. Not a message for everyone there today. And certainly a very, very important message. Immigration, one of the things which is causing much concern here in Ireland. Lots of young people having to leave, and there's certainly a message. They want jobs created, and quite rightly so. St Columbus are Northern Young Ireland, and they have the same message. So the young people of Ireland, young people of Donegal, certainly given their message. 2468, we don't want to immigrate. And there's a David Brown tractor from quite a number of years back. Remarkable condition some of these old vehicles are kept in. A credit to the people who keep them for years and years. RTE gets another bit of stick there from the same gentleman. An old Anglia car, GAH123, that's my year back. They're certainly very happy looking. Confident that it's going to make it to the bottom of the town. And another very old model here. Remarkable condition that's in. Just look at the inside and outside of that car. Really a credit. Yet another old car. And here we have another one. Quite remarkable just how good a condition these cars are kept in. Engines taken over really, really well. Probably can't just hear them, but you'd hardly hear that car passing by. Really in tremendous condition. Joanne and Tracila Sunshine, band from Northern Ireland, certainly have supported there. And here comes Tommy Piper. Get me to the church on time. Tommy rather well dressed today.
Please stand well
yes,
back.
With a young bride and groom on there.
The entries through. Stand well back, please.
Tommy Piper, Tyrconnell Wheelers. Certainly looking very well there, waving to the cameras. Young bride and groom. And Mr. McDade. St Joseph's, County Down, this particular band from. Also in green and white. Great to see these fans coming out from Northern Ireland to participate here today. Everyone delighted to see them. This one again, St Joseph's, Kinloch, County Down. Killock and County Down,
Please stand well back now, please. Stand well back for your own safety. Allow the lorries through.
Appeals coming from the
and the marshals, and stand well back.
Appeals coming from the main platform for everyone to stand back. Unify of Ireland. Texture Yarn Europe Limited. Now owned by an American, run by an American company, Unify, of course, the former court halls. And certainly from reports we believe that the company is doing better than ever. And expect to spend quite a number of £1 million in the coming couple of years installing new computers. It's great to see that company doing so well. Gives employment to so many people here in the Letterkenny and indeed further afield. Top quality milk, agent Kevin Bradley. Trevor Conahan there. Mulburn Dairies, Castlefin, County Donegal. And here we have French milk dairy, pasteurised from Castlefin also. They're being generous today and handing out lots of cartons of milk to everyone. A pint a day keeps the doctor away. And coming behind them, you'll pick them up in a moment or so. The guys looking very happy here. Been more than generous today, handing out milk to lots of young people. One of the best supporters again of parades here in Letterkenny, whether it be festival parades or St Patrick's Day parades, Mickey Cullen, fish merchant, a very well known and famous man here in Letterkenny, and he has a couple of fish, more than a couple, hanging about there, and a few not too pleasant looking gentlemen sitting on top there. Well done to Mickey again, once again turning out on this parade. St Johnson Band here, dressed in red and white. Once again, as we mentioned earlier on, showing just how many fine young bands we have here in County Donegal, and they're certainly all here today. St Beetham's Band from St Johnson. Large number of people. We can see Tommy Gorman there almost losing his footing. Tommy coordinate things for RTE today here in Letterkenny. Extensive coverage from RTE for this parade today. More milk suppliers.
Not giving any away this time, Charlie.
No, not being as generous as the last people were. They're handing out leaflets, but not much nourishment in those leaflets. The young people are happy enough to take them anyway. There's a Morris Minor of yesteryear as well. Interesting to see Morris Minor 1000 Turbo. Didn't know they put turbo on Morris Minors. There you are. You learn something every day. Great condition also. Tinney's Coal Merchants. Packie's hoping for a bag, but certainly making a fine noise. Well stacked up. A bit of loading has gone into that lorry today. Nice clean white bags. We never get those at home. Always the dirty black ones.
Please stand well back from the lorry. Please stand well back.
But this parade is fantastic today. Really large numbers of participants, floats, bands, business people, you name it, they're all here today. And another one from Tinney's Coals coming well loaded up today. Eddie Tinney himself driving this particular one. No free bags being thrown off at the moment anyway. Looking for a smile, and we're getting one here from him in the front seat. A little reluctant there. But we finally got one. And coming behind we have a band from Fulcara. I can see Cahill Ferry here on the right hand side with a blue tie, pink shirt. Cahill, the teacher in the community school down there. Obviously one of the people behind this particular band. I think we're just getting a bit of a smile here from Cahill. Glenny United footballer. All the way from Devlin Rye. Banna Columkill Band. That must be in the Fulcara area certainly, because I recognise a number of people. A few dignitaries and committee members. Packie McGilligan, Margaret Doherty there.
Little boy lost here by the name of John Curry.
Lots of smiles from those people.
Wants to claim him up to the
And
here, John Curry.
Irish Red Cross Society ambulance coming here to round off, we believe on this occasion. This is the end of the parade. Very important people, of course, and people who give lots of their free time to members of the general public at sporting events and events such as this as well, of course, where there's large number of people gathered. So fantastic turnout. We believe that is the end of the parade. Just give you an idea of the volume of people coming down the main street here in Letterkenny. These people, of course, have been all on the Port Road and near the top of the town, all heading towards the Market Square now. You can get some idea of the number of people. You've already had a good idea of what the number that have been around the Market Square here. People streaming down towards the Market Square. We're anticipating having a number of speeches from the dignitaries on the platform. once again congratulate the Garda Síochána on the way they've handled things here today. They kept a fairly low profile, but at the same time they've kept the main street and the main thoroughfare for the platform, for the bands and the floats to get through. There you are, numbers as the Irish Red Cross ambulance heads away. Vast numbers of people here, all coming towards the central point here now at the Market Square.
Attention, please. My Lord Bishop, Reverend gentlemen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Our son and Hushta, Bawaliam Falta, Korrev, Gakdina, and Shohanyu. Bawaliam Fosta Falta, Occur, Wev, our Gurtori Galir, Pospecialta, Dini, Ahonik, and Shohanyu, O'Hira Ella, Conlaw Ela Padrik, Akalura Ling, and Shohanyu. Tommy Wintook, Wiik, August Ahasak, Asan Moore, Shul, Avian Shaw, and you, Agwing, August Sulagwing, Gawil Shivshe, Wiik, Asan Yifak, Akurak Ashtakad. On behalf of the committee, I would like to welcome everyone here today. I would like to welcome all our visitors, those from abroad, and a special welcome to people who have come home from afar. Irish people on St. Patrick's Day all over the world are proud to be Irish. To stage a major event as this, sponsorship, of course, is a major factor. And we are grateful to all our sponsors and to the people of Letterkenny so far. But the committee wish to make it known that we are open to all donations and more donations to defray the huge cost of this event. I would like to welcome our first speaker today. Could you welcome the Chairman of Letterkenny Urban District Council, P.J. Blake.
My Lord Bishop, Reverend Sirs, TD, Senators, members of Donegal County Council, County Manager, fellow urban councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you here today to participate in Letterkenny's celebration of St. Patrick's Day. I'm pleased to see so many of our townspeople turned out for the parade, and indeed I would like to extend the Kate Milafalcha to all the visitors to our town. Parades don't just happen, and I would like to thank Barney Sweeney and his very hard-working committee on the efforts that they have put into this year's parade. What we have just seen shows their efforts were certainly not in vain. Congratulations are also due to those who have taken part in the parade. I am particularly pleased to see so many of our young people involved, and this is a credit both to them and to those responsible for them. Finally, on behalf of Letterkenny Urban District Council, I am pleased to assure Barney and this committee of our continued support, both financial and otherwise. And just looking round here today, if the Met Office have any vacancies, I think they should look to Letterkenny to the two Barneys. In conclusion, Tasulagon, Gomela Suna, August Pleasure, Ophelia, Patrick, Agav Guler, Karamir Michael.
The committee would like to show their appreciation to all those who have participated in the parade to make it the success it was. And a lot of time and effort goes into organising each entry and float. We have apologies today from Urban Councillors Liam McCluskey, Bernard McGlinchey and Lawrence Blake. And we also have an apology from Hugh Conahan TD, who is Chairman of Donegal County Council. And our next speaker is the Vice Chairman of Donegal County Council. Could you welcome please Mr. Eddie O'Donnell.
My Lordship, Reverend Barrett, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the organising committee for giving me this great privilege to be here on St Patrick's Day as representing the Donegal County Council. I would like to thank the people who participated in the display. I'm sure that we can compete any place in Ireland with the parade that has been on here today. I do not wish to delay you, but to thank you, the organising committee, and we will continue on the Donegal County Council to do everything possible to make next year a bigger success again than this year was. That's all I have to say, only just to thank you very much, and I wish every one of us, on the behalf of the Donegal County Council, a very happy St Patrick's Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this year of the Dublin Millennium, we would like to send our greetings to any Dublin people we have living or visiting Letterkenny at this time. As you may be aware, this event could not be possible without an organising committee, and our committee, though small in number, have been busily arranging this parade for the last 6 months or more. Our final speaker of the afternoon is the chairman of our St Patrick's Day Committee. Could you welcome please Barney Sweeney.
Ladies and gentlemen, it'll be a short speech from me, but I would like to thank everybody who helped make this a successful day for us. And I think it's the biggest St Patrick's Day parade we've ever had. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Thank you very much.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, just to show you that there are people around the world thinking of us on St Patrick's Day, we have a letter addressed to the Secretary of our organisation from the Department of the Army, Letterkenny Army Depot in Pennsylvania. I'll read you the letter that they sent to us for St Patrick's Day. Thank you for your warm remembrance of the people of Letterkenny Army Depot on St Patrick's Day. I regret to inform you that Letterkenny Army Depot cannot take part in your St Patrick's Day parade this year. Occasionally, some of your citizens may visit the United States, and if they plan on coming to Pennsylvania, we would be delighted to have them visit Letterkenny Army Depot. We would be honoured to show them Letterkenny and to extend them the hospitality of our community. Please accept the enclosed card and plaque with warm and sincere wishes to you and your people from myself and the people of Letterkenny Army Depot on this St Patrick's Day 1988. And I'll just show you the plaque that they have presented to the committee here. From Letterkenny Army Depot in the United States to the people of Letterkenny, Ireland. Before we finish up here, I would like to mention two events that are taking place today and that we've been asked to mention by the organising committee. In the new technical school at Windy Hall, there's a grand bazaar and a sale of works and fun and games for all the family. That is the new vocational school at Windy Hall. It's starting immediately now after the parade. Also to announce that the County Museum at the Higher Road is holding an exhibition on fabrics. That's old fabrics, christening ropes and things like that from years and years ago. Well worth a visit at the County Museum at the Higher Road. Agus concréichnú bhhailm lá éile Pádraig sonna agus síochanach a bháil libh go léir. Go raibh míle maith agat. results of the parade will be announced here later on. That's the results of the parade that took place and the shop windows.
Are indoors at last after a very successful St Patrick's Day parade, and after a nice cup of tea, some of the dignitaries who were on the platform today have joined us. And first we're going to talk to Fine Gael, member for Dáil Éireann here, Mr Paddy Harte, one of the longest serving members in the Dáil Éireann. Paddy, very nice to see you here today.
Thank you very much. Well, it gives me great pleasure to convey greetings to the Irish in the United States of America. It's, I think, a nice occasion on St Patrick's Day here in Ireland, particularly in Letterkenny, to extend our best wishes to Letterkenny, Pennsylvania. As you know, and addressing you people in Pennsylvania, many of the Donegal people went to Pennsylvania. I had the privilege, in fact, of speaking in a small church, Presbyterian church, probably the first Catholic ever to do it, in a small township called Raphoe in Donegal Springs. So if any of you are from Donegal Springs, particular good wishes to you. Maybe I should mention something, Charlie, of what I'm involved in as a politician in the United States. I have taken the initiative to bring Irish business people together, and with the endorsement of the government and with seed capital from the government, we've set up an organisation called the Irish-American Partnership. And the Irish-American Partnership aims to involve Irish Americans of Irish heritage in the economic development of Ireland and to increase the ties between Ireland and the United States. This is a very small island and we have many problems here. We can resolve them, but I don't think during my lifetime or during the lifetime of Irish people here on the island at the moment. But with the help of Irish Americans who just push aside the politics of Ireland and get involved in the economic development of Ireland, I think the Irish Americans have it in their power to bring about an economic miracle in Ireland. And with an economic miracle, then you have prosperity and you generate peace. I believe that most Americans would like to identify with a non-aggressive, passive movement, non-violent organisation which can establish peace in Ireland. I believe that many people of Irish stock would like to be part of that. And those of you who would like to be part of it, we have set up already regional councils in Philadelphia to deal with what's called the Mid-Atlantic states. We have a conference or a community council, a local council in New York to deal with the New York state and New York City, and in Boston to deal with the New England states. When we have those three regional councils going, then we will be extending our aim. Our aim is to go to about 30 other areas. But there are 40 million Irish Americans over there, and greetings from Ireland this St Patrick's Day. And maybe by this time next St Patrick's Day we'll be getting to know you a lot better. Goodbye all. God bless you all.
Paddy, a very nice message to our American friends out there. Just coming back to today's event, I'm sure like everyone you were absolutely delighted to see the volume of people who came into Letterkenny for this parade today.
Well, I think it's a great tribute to the people who've organised in a county where we've only got one traffic light. That's just outside the hotel here. It gives you an idea of how rural this part of Ireland is. But I suppose there were 50, 60,000 people in the town today, and that's a great tribute to the organisers, and it shows how Irish we are on St Patrick's Day and how we can share this great feast day with people of Irish stock all over the world.
Yeah, and despite what's happening in this country of ours, Paddy, it's important that we maintain this link with St Patrick,
yes,
of course.
Yes, in today's parade I noticed people, Catholic and Protestant. We are right on the border, as you know, Charlie, 16 miles from the border between here and Northern Ireland, and the community that we live in here is Catholics and Protestants get on very well, and it's just a pity that doesn't happen in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Someday it will do, I hope.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today, Paddy, and I'm sure everyone's delighted to see you take the time to come into Letterkenny for the parade.
Pleasure's mine, Charlie. Thank you.
Neil, nice to see you in Letterkenny today, and I'm sure, like everyone, you must have been very impressed with the way things went in the parade today.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing that impressed me most was that the weather was dry for a change, and the crowds were really phenomenal, and the parade itself was outstandingly good, particularly the bands and a number of the industrial displays. And all in all, I would say it was a great day for Letterkenny.
Yeah. We're sending a message to our friends in America, Neil, and I'm sure as a well-known politician in the country, you'll have something special to say to them on the St. Patrick's Day.
Well, what I would say is that I'd love to be with them there, as I have been some times in the past. And I'm sure that they'll have a whopping great day out there, and I wish them all the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Not only today, but between now and the next one.
Yeah, a very important thing for the county, of course, to have a day like this, and the fact that RTE took the time to come and give it extensive coverage shows the importance that it is placed on a parade like this, Neil.
I think it's good in that sense. It's good from a public relations point of view, and the fact that it has attained the status that brings RTE here means that it will get a showing, not only perhaps within the country but outside as well. But very important that it should be seen throughout the country, because to a large degree, particularly Dublin and the East Coast, sort of feel that we're somewhere near the Arctic, whereas in fact if they would but know that, we're nearer than some of the beauty spots in Kerry. And I think it all helps to make them realise in the rest of the country that we're not somewhere in outer space, and that we have this sort of community spirit up here, and that it might entice more of them to come in the future for holidays, for a visit or whatever it might be.
Yeah, that community spirit you talk about, how important is it that we develop and maintain that sort of the spirit?
I think that it's perhaps the most important single ingredient that would go to make up a better future for us in the county, because all too often and all too frequently community spirit is sadly lacking, and people are trying to do things on their own, whereas if they get together, it's amazing what can be done. What would seem the impossible is quite capable of accomplishment if there's a get together, there's committees, and there's that interchange of ideas and the adding of the energy of the group rather than the individual. And I think it has far more than just putting a parade on the street to underline it. I think that the same community spirit in any endeavour could make a world of difference to us in many respects in this county.
Yeah, all the more important that committees like the St. Patrick's Day Committee maintain the sort of work they're doing then, Neil?
I think not only that they should maintain the sort of work they're doing, but I think that from this success that a committee of this nature has had in regard to the parade, I think from it will stem, and maybe already has stemmed, other endeavours on a community basis. And I think that idea of showing to, I suppose, the youth and the younger people coming up what can be done by getting together can be used in many, many ways to the betterment of the county and to our way of life.
Yeah, interesting float in the parade today, young people with a theme tune, "We want work, we don't want to immigrate." Neil, I'm sure you're interested to see that.
I was most interested, and it was perhaps in a sense the highlight of the parade, in that there was so many involved. There was several branches from the different parts of the county, and of course it was all young people that were in it, and as you say, their theme was they wanted jobs and not emigration.
Yeah.
And I think that this will probably uplift and help to uplift many of our young people today who are rather depressed due to the overall sort of depression that has descended upon us of recent times, and that being shown widely around and being seen today, I think will have an uplifting effect on our young people.
Good to see that young people care enough to come out in a parade like this and do it, Neil.
Well, that was another striking feature about it. I think that without any question or doubt about it, there was many more young people than there was of the adult or elder population today, which for this sort of thing isn't usually the norm.
Yeah.
And to see them from tots up in their hundreds, if not thousands, there today is quite interesting, and I think will be good for them.
Yeah. And finally, Neil, the number of people who came into Letterkenny today indicates that this is certainly something that they want to see continuing in the future.
There's not a doubt about it, and the crowds that were there today is an indication of how, in a sense, our people, like all other peoples, I think, desire pageantry, and particularly marking an occasion such as St. Patrick's Day. But there are many other occasions that could be so marked and perhaps from the committee's efforts here in Letterkenny for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, we might have a development of some other annual events and outings that would bring people out and bring people in and do the town good to start with, and give an uplift to people, to have something to do, something to see, something to participate in. I think it's all very important.
Certainly. Well, Neil, on behalf of the committee, thanks for coming today, and once again, thanks for your message to your friends in America. I'm sure they'll really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Charlotte.
Neil Blaney there. And we're delighted to welcome Chairman of the Letterkenny Urban District Council, Mr. P.J. Blake, to deliver a message, I'm sure, to our friends in America. But first of all, PJ, can we talk to you about the success of today's parade? I'm sure, like everyone in the town, you must have been absolutely delighted with the turnout, with the number of floats and bands, and with everything in general.
Oh, it was very, very good. In particular, the weather. But the crowds were absolutely fantastic. I would say in the 6 years that the parade is running, this, I'm sure, is the best year that they've had.
Yeah.
And shortly before this, things were looking bad, but thankfully everything turned out well for them on the day.
Yeah.
And as far as the Urban Council is concerned, we're happy to be associated with it and assure them of our continued support, both financial and otherwise, you know.
Yeah. Committees like this sometimes don't tend to get the support that they need, PJ, but I'm sure, you know, they deserve many plaudits for the way they've handled the thing. I know they have a small committee, but the amount of work that actually goes into organising a parade like this, I feel isn't appreciated, really.
No, well, as I say, that was quite obvious up until about a fortnight ago, and then people realised the difficulties. I remember years ago, people used to talk about having to go to Gweedore and Dunfanaghy and towns like this, you know. Letterkenny was big enough, why did they not have their own? And it was sad at the time to see it, but everybody rallied round when they were needed, and that was the important thing, especially for the committee.
Yeah. And can only be good for the town, of course, in general, the number of people who were in today, maybe people who hadn't visited Letterkenny in the past, PJ?
No, there was a big influx of visitors to the town today.
Very interested with this little message you have here. You've got a friend at Letterkenny Army Depot in Pennsylvania, America, and I'm sure you have a special message for them on this special day here in Ireland.
Well, talking to the committee, I would like to take this opportunity of thanking them for the letter that they sent to the committee, and also the apology and the plaque, which is very, very nice. And I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the people of Letterkenny. I would wish everyone at Letterkenny Army Barracks a very happy and peaceful St. Patrick's Day. Tasula gum, go mé la sunna, agus pleasure a féile, Padraig a gov go lair. Good.
Well, PJ, that's very, very nice, and I'm sure we will appreciate it in the USA. Finally, I'm sure, like everyone else, you're hoping this will continue for many years. A successful day like this in Letterkenny can only be good for the town and for Donegal in general.
Well, there's no doubt or question about that. I think the problems that they had, they have overcome now, and as I say, it has always been a case that the people of the town will, once they see a problem arising, they're rowing behind, and thankfully everything turned out well.
Yeah, and
so we'll be hopeful for the future.
Certainly, everyone's delighted. PJ, on behalf of the committee, thanks for joining us today.
Charlie, thank you very much.
Right. I'm sure, like everyone, you must have been very impressed with the turnout in Letterkenny today.
It certainly was. And the weather wasn't that nice, but to have a turnout like that, despite that bad weather, or cold weather, it was very encouraging for the people who organised it.
Yeah, a number of people we've spoken to already say that these events are very necessary and have to be continued, really.
Well, I think it's nice to be celebrating. It's nice to have positive things to do rather than to be continually thinking of negative and bad news that so often comes across the media. It's nice to be doing something positive and something bright and something nice in our lives.
Yeah, the number of people who came in from outside Letterkenny would indicate that certainly they feel that it's a day that should be continued as well, Joachim.
Certainly, it's becoming a day out for the family, and from my own point of view, I was glad to have my daughter on her first public appearance today. But it's becoming a family day out, and you know, despite what I say, the weather. I mean, in mid-March you expect that type of weather, but So it's nice to see people coming and enjoying themselves.
Yeah. Well, the other people who have joined us have taken the opportunity to send a message to the Letterkenny Army Depot, and I'm sure you would want to do that yourself, Joachim.
Well, I certainly would, to anybody, and particularly to the Army Depot, to anybody living abroad, to say that things are moving along nicely in Ireland, that the economy is starting to come right, and we would dearly love to have those who are emigrants back at home at some time, if only to visit us and to help our economy. And if they could perhaps return to make their home in Ireland, that would be nice too.
Yeah. But I'm sure, like everyone, you're hoping that the support that we've received from the people in America over the years will continue. It's certainly been a good place for young people from Ireland to go and get some learning experience.
Oh, certainly. I mean, if it hadn't been for that outlet at times, at bad times in the past, and even at the present time when things aren't great here, there's an outlet in America, and our young people, even recently, they've legislated in favour of our young people going to America. They've encouraged them to go there if they haven't got a job at home, and they've welcomed them with open arms, and we would like to say, well, thank you for doing that, and if you choose to come to visit us, we would like to be able to do the same for you.
Yeah, and finally, a special day in Ireland, always St. Patrick's Day, and it's nice to see that so many people still feel that way.
Oh, certainly. You know, to repeat what I said at the very beginning, at the outset, it's nice to be thinking positive, to have people out celebrating for no particular reason, not celebrating a victory over somebody else or a one-upmanship, just to be celebrating for the sake of celebrating our national day, our national saint, to be celebrating without any specific reason other than that. That's nice. That's positive celebration.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Senator Loughrey, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Finally today, we're about to talk to Mrs. Margaret Doherty, Secretary of the very hard-working St. Patrick's Day Committee. A lot of effort has been put into the organisation of this day. I think that has to be appreciated in the first place. But Margaret, overall, a very rewarding day for the committee.
Oh, very rewarding, yeah. We're very happy with the turnout we had, and the crowd that came into the town, crowd of visitors, and the bands, etc. and everything.
Yeah.
Very happy with it.
When you're organising an event like this, Margaret, I suppose at the back of your mind, the fear always will be that it's going to be a flop. Any fears like that in the couple of days leading up to the event?
Well, we were so busy, I think, Charlie, leading up to the event that we didn't even have time to think, everything. But no, we're very lucky. We've never been let down. Any bands that just said they were coming, or groups that were coming in, no, they always...
Yeah.
We're very lucky in that way.
Yeah. The parade itself, of course, was very good, but I think what impressed me, certainly during the commentary, and I feel everyone there, was the volume of people who were in Letterkenny today, Margaret. Probably never before has such crowds been seen in the town for any one event.
No, we keep saying every year it's the best one yet.
Yeah.
But I think that really applies today, because there was a huge crowd there altogether, and maybe it helped that there was, or maybe help's not the word I should say, but there was no parade as far as I know in Donegal town or Ballabafay, and I don't think there was a parade in Ardra.
Yeah.
So we might have got from those areas would be attending their own parades.
Certainly. And the fact that RTE felt that they should come along and give it extensive coverage again, a great boost for the committee and for the parade in general, Margaret.
Oh yes, it was very good. We see, well, with RTE they have drawn up quota for every 4 years. There's 4 towns in Donegal that has parades.
Yeah.
So it was our turn this year.
Yeah.
And somewhere else, I suppose, next year.
But the fact that there were so many people in today, certainly a great boost for the committee and the town in general.
Oh, great! Yeah, terrific altogether.
Yeah. I know, Margaret, a lot of hard work goes into it, and I heard you in an earlier interview say that as soon as this one's over, work starts with the next. The fact that it was so successful today probably makes it a bit easier to look forward to 1989.
Yeah, and it'd make it a bit harder, because we would have to build up to come up to today's parade, But no, everybody's very happy with it at the end of the day. Yeah, we're very happy.
But as you've been saying, it's been building up year after year. But certainly this year, without a doubt, the most successful. So it's certainly it's required, it's needed. The people have responded to it, Margaret.
They have, and I can't understand this, because a town the size of Letterkenny, it's unbelievable that I don't know whether maybe they're happy to sit back and let somebody else arrange it, or they think it'll happen without any arrangement. I don't know, but there should be more support. I can never emphasise that enough, that there's not enough support. The Chamber of Commerce, sure, they support us financially, but I think if they could do more, they could get the their members maybe to enter floats or to do something, you know. And you have a lot of firms that doesn't even bother doing anything or entering anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the events of today is going to make a lot of people think more positively, Margaret. Congratulations to you and to all your hard-working committee. And as I say, we'll look forward to continued success in 1989.
Yes, thanks very much, Charlie. And thank you for covering it for us for today and all.
A pleasure, Margaret.
Bye.
Well, folks, that's the story of the 1988 St Patrick's Day Parade here in Letterkenny. I think without doubt the most successful and the best supported we've ever seen in the town. Great credit, as I said to Margaret a short time ago, to the committee for the amount of hard work they've put in the last year. It's all been rewarded today. Many thanks to the thousands and thousands of people who came into Letterkenny today to support the parade. Many thanks, of course, to RTE for their extended coverage. And we look forward to the next St Patrick's Day Parade. Thank God that the weather was good today again. We've been very lucky in the last couple of years, and that's really all we can say about it. It's been a fantastic day, really successful, and 1989 we look forward to be even bigger and better.
Letterkenny was the County Donegal venue selected for our visit this year. The parade started on schedule at 3 o'clock and lasted for over an hour. The endeavour of the organising committee was rewarded as the rain held off until minutes after the last entry had passed the reviewing stand. Internationally renowned athlete Danny McDade used the occasion to get in a bit of practice. Next month he will walk from Dublin to Letterkenny in aid of local charities. The Bank of Ireland was the only financial institution to enter such a colourful float. The message of keeping afloat was an appropriate one in County Donegal, home for more than 50% of the national fishing fleet. And maybe some of the fishermen of tomorrow were among this group of Sea Scouts. The dignitaries on the reviewing stand included Dáil deputies Paddy Harte and Neil Blaney, the Bishop of Raphoe Dr Seamus Hegarty, and Letterkenny UDC chairman Lawrence Blake. What struck us about this parade was that for a town of its size, Letterkenny seems to be able to drum up a spirit of community participation that must be the envy of some of the cities. At least 20,000 people were on the streets, and unlike the practice in other centres, men and women, young and old, often join in and walk alongside their community group. The effort of the Ballybowes district near Letterkenny was a highlight. The message of "we don't want to emigrate" by Irish was recognised and applauded. It was a pity how some of the larger business concerns in the locality didn't respond in a more spirited way to the excellent work of the organisers. But let's leave the large crowds in Letterkenny on an optimistic note. This is St Eugene's Band from Newton Stewart, County Tyrone, one of the many visiting groups proving friendship stretches over the border on the national holiday.